just relay information to myself or other members of the team.
How about you, Vapors, with 12? Do you guys
Um,
run the double or single?
We're not stacked up, but we're usually in the general vicinity. So we'd only rely on myself to call.
Okay.
However, if I'm running mediums with 2 or 3 of my other guys, I'll pick Ninja to call for the heavies, and we usually just communicate back and forth on what's going on.
Well, shout out to Ninja. I've known him, I don't know, I think it's almost been 3 years plus I've known that guy. But yeah, I know it depends on the map, especially
Yeah.
like say on Marivanka, there's always a split of 3
Yeah.
or 2 that
Usually
go into
there is,
Magical
yeah.
Force. I guess it depends on individual skill too. So
And I mean, I'm still a new caller, so I'm still learning things every day, every match.
I'm in the same boat.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
definitely.
great.
I know that we used to in Peril we ran a double collar setup. If we definitely say would have 4 heavies on a hold, being the hold portion, and then another collar over with the mediums type scenario, just so we can keep the comms clean. We would have those. Those 2 would be talking again onto each other and then relaying stuff downwards. I mean, a double collar kind of setup it's an interesting role because, well, one collar can be like, all right, side script a little bit more, stack, stack, stack. The other collar can be, all right, go a little bit wider. There you go. And then it essentially would be the second collar would be like focusing for the mediums. Hit that guy. While the heavies
Yeah.
are going.
I mean, even then, me and Ninja usually run the duo caller because usually I'm running my heavies and I'm usually up front, so I might miss a couple things. And if he's usually up front too, but we'll probably catch a couple things the other person doesn't. So
Yeah, it never
it's
hurts
more of like
to have
a
a second set of eyes.
yeah. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say
we
it's a
run the same thing
backup
in
system.
Panda.
It's more of like a. It's more of just an extra. Yeah, it's an extra pair of eyes, just in case me or him miss something.
Go ahead,
Definitely
Murphy.
helps us out in Panda. Basically, what he said: if I miss something, there's always 6 other guys that realize what I'm missing and say, "Oh, let's do this." And we all just go in.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
usually
Same thing
works.
for my guys. They'll always relay info to me that's like, oh, by the way, this guy's moving here and that I missed, and I'm like, okay, and I'll react to whatever it is.
Therein lies the team chemistry of everybody. You don't want. I've seen some teams where everybody's silent and only the caller's the only one allowed to talk, and that never works. It's the team chemistry of being able to rely on what everybody sees.
Yeah.
And it's just the comms etiquette, but at the same time, it's just you call out focus fire, but don't say I'm tracked or something like that. It's just you don't want to mess up and overload anything.
Or having
I
the
definitely.
miscued
I
pushes.
would not like.
You don't want to have that. I fell into that just as being a team member, sitting there doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, overmatch, go, 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 and I'm like, okay, and then next thing you know, you're in deep with 4 heavies versus 5 heavies and a bat chat on a flank, and you're like, whoa. And the caller's
called
like, I
that
didn't.
one?
Who called that one?
Yeah.
Actually,
that's-
that
Yeah, I
happened.
definitely would not like a silent caller thing that was set up, like having everyone.
That
silent
happened
with the caller.
in the second steps match because I was focused on all the heavies in front of me, and then Ninja saying overmatch, and I'm like, wait, what? And I look behind me, and they've killed all 3 of the mediums. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Let's
Yeah.
overmatch.
Yeah, that was HK actually when it got down to 2 minutes, and I think we were ahead on damage at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you were by a little bit.
Until I said, all right, mediums, 2 minutes, let's push, and then that was a bad call. And
Well,
that
you
was
guys
all me.
had you guys had an overmatch there. It's just the bat chats rotated back for 12 Panzer just right on point. So it was just, and then, but my biggest question here is what did happen on the first map of the quick cap the 12 Panzer was able to put out, and it was the delay on the railroad tracks. Just kind of as we're watching it, was it just communication delay on that, or what? No push coming that allowed 12 Panzer to get in the bowl and just create that perimeter defense and then just stack up inside and quick cap it.
Okay, so I'll tell you what that was. That was fear on my part because I was supposed to be, we were supposed to be spotting them, but we did not see them at all. So
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, man, do we really want to venture out and get melted? You know, so I was like, let's go back the way we came and try to cut across. And we got there and it was too late. We ended up shooting at tanks that weren't even holding base cap points. And the
Yeah, that's
heavies, like I said,
that's what I was gonna point out, because I wasn't in the cap when you guys were around the corner, so I tried to back up into the cap where you guys would try and focus me instead of the bat chats, because I had no cap
That was-
points.
Yeah,
that was good. That was such a good move too because
well,
we had no
I've
clue.
seen you guys in 12 Panzer. You probably have just as many cap outs on steps as I've seen any team, but the way you
Oh,
guys
boy.
are able to always do it is that you put enough tanks in the cap and then you create that perimeter to force the teams to come through those tanks just to get there. And,
Yeah,
I mean, you
because
guys
usually I
definitely play it
see,
well.
because I usually see other teams putting heavies into the cap, and I'm like, well, might as well put our bat chats in there because they can't really take hits in general. So I'm like, might as well put our chieftains all down, our IS-7s all down, and it's a lot harder to get through than, bat chats. And then
It's a
if they
good
do
move.
make it to the cap, the bat chats can spring out on the open side, or if it's not a lot of tanks on one side, they can try and swarm them.
One thing I want to ask, I'm curious, HK, what was the thing with all the heavies behind the tracks? I want to know what that was.
So basically, they were just holding there so they didn't take any damage until we could spot them out and see where everybody was at, and then they were supposed to push in. But I think that, but with the dual collar thing, I really don't. I was, we were doing our medium thing. So with the heavies, I don't really absolutely know for sure what they were doing, to be honest with you. So.
I was hoping the heavies would go into the bowl so you could keep eyes, because from where they were, they had no eyes whatsoever on what was going on. They were spotting
Yeah.
maybe 500-600 meters away, and this is not going to happen.
What I should have done was send one of the mediums out in front of the heavies to try to get spots with them, and then just once he spotted, had him come regroup with us. But I don't know none of that stuff. I'm a player, not a caller. You know what I mean? I'm way better at taking direction than I am giving it, as far as being in a match goes. I can't call for shite.
Alrighty,
I
guys.
used to be the same.
Well, thank you so much, guys,
First
for
3
coming
matches
in.
I did, I was all over.
For coming
Oh
in
yeah,
this evening.
thanks, man. It was fun.
Thank you, Hellscat.
You're very welcome, guys. Yet again, we'll definitely see you guys back here on the streams for the post-game interviews some more. So thank you
For sure.
coming in and chatting with us. And expect more of this community to hear some more of the chat between all of these leaders. So my hat's off going out to Vapors and HK for coming out this evening and joining us here in the chat.
Alright,
All right,
thanks,
Murphy,
Hellcat.
Omega,
I'll
thank
see
you
you
guys.
soon.
All right, talk to you later. Later, Vapor.
Ciao. See you, man.
All right.
I'm curious, Hellscat, what made you think of putting all the interviews in?
Honestly, I want more community interaction. That's the biggest dream of Wednesday night fights, is to start getting more interaction with everybody, so everybody can start enjoying more aspects. And I think that having people come in and hearing what people were thinking in that moment in time, and what they were, how everything was going to roll out would. It makes it more interesting for everybody.
It brings the human factor out too for all the people that are on stream watching that aren't in the comps as well. And with the new format that Hells and Beaver and WNF has created, it is allowing us to be able to have these. And I think it's also fun to, like I said, hear from what you have to say, Murphy. and again, what Hell said on these guys of what their thought process was on each map.
Well, I definitely
it
agree.
definitely
It's a
brings
good thing for
great-
the community, for the bronze, silver, even some gold teams can learn from other gold teams. Like, I'm sure other gold teams can learn from Panda, and I'm sure Panda can learn from other gold teams the same way by thinking, oh, Panda, we lost this overmatch, but this is what we did good. We need to improve on this, et cetera, by the opposing clan telling you, you did not do well here.
Or yeah, how they another team kind of telling you what their thought process was and being able to exploit. Just like what HK said there when I asked him what happened on the first map. He just straight up was like, I didn't know. We didn't have enough information. I was afraid to push because I didn't know what was there.
The same thing
that
goes
shows-
for the Himmelsdorf game that we played on, having that 6-3 overmatch. That's just an easy win.
Yeah.
They just went down a huge amount of DPM, so it would have been nice to have the TLP representative come in here so I could tell him that, but he's watching the stream or something and got that information.
Yeah, he was watching the stream. Unfortunately, he had to work in a couple hours. That's why he wasn't able to come on. So.
Alrighty, guys. So here we go. First match out here, SKB VGA. We're going to be doing it out on the first time out here on Ravage Capital. What I'll do here is I'll go down the VGA side because I'm going to do their theme music rolling into this. SKB hasn't been assigned no theme music just quite yet. So Murphy, if you would do me the diligent of listing off their tanks, and then I'll roll into the VGA guys.
Alright, SKB's rolling out with an E5, 2 Mouses, 2 E100s, and 2 Chieftains.
Alrighty. Solid lineup there for Ravage Capital. So let's see what has going on over here on the other end. Great guys coming out from VGA. Northern guy coming out with the E4, Shotty Snipes. Nice sample, both in bat chats. Vinny Bada Bing, Campish Duck. And LM17 coming out there with IS7s and Super Waffles and his 50B. Of course, big shout out to Limp Bizkit Break Stuff, the theme music for VGA. We're going to continue breaking more and more here as we get this going.
Double checking here on if everybody's ready to go. If they're willing to go a little early.
Go ahead and launch it out, sir.
I did. Xbox just has a major delay here.
Haven't seen Ravage Capital for a while. Love this map. Love it, love it, love it. A lot of aspects that you could do on this thing.
I like the north push, and taking control of that. But what's your thought there, Murphy? Especially with having the major split. I mean, take a look at SKB split, where almost everything but one tank is on the E line, where VGA is more split up. It's kind of interesting, kind of like an Overwatch type or map.
Well, it does depend on what side you want to push, because if you want to push the south, you're going to have more tanks going, whereas if you want to push the north, you can just have the one tank going on SKB. It really depends on what side you want to go on.
Yeah.
It would hurt you more if you wanted to push south when you have 6 tanks sitting up north. The E5 might get set ahead and get clipped out by one of the autoloaders.
Yeah, I
The
guess
same
it's,
thing goes on the Overlord map where I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. They have that huge split, whereas the beach is a spawn and the top hill is spawn. Whereas
Yeah.
you can just YOLO with your bats and potentially wipe out 2-3 tanks just because you have a huge overmatch from spawns.
Yeah, that Overlord match, we've done hours. I know I've been a part of hours of trying to figure out the formula of where who spawns, and there is nothing that we have really figured out on that map. And do you guys do much practicing on this map at all, or?
Not really. I don't remember practicing Ravage Capital that much.
I like this map along with Berlin because it allows kind of a play out in the fields with the hills on one side, or you can go city.
Big damage taken by J-Dog here. VGA has the cap. They're punishing their chieftains that are trying to control it. But VGA in a very good position with their IS-7s. So now SKB's gonna have to push out in the open where you have iSample and his bat chat able to do some peekabooms. Interesting that it has to be the mouses.
I sample going for a reload on the heat clip, it seems, to pen the mouses.
SKB definitely went very, very heavy compared to the mobile setup of VGA.
Shoddy Snipes finally coming in this way to give iSample some help. It's interesting still seeing their TD out there in the B4 area. Where there's no...
It is a very hard thing for SKB to push into this since they are flanked on every side. If they decide to push in, the bat chat able to clip them in the side.
Yeah, the bat chat's going to be able to get these shots.
As iSample goes in right here to start penning the mouses.
Smart thing.
There's the exact thing, a heat clip being absorbed by the tracks.
Yeah, Heatjoy readjusting himself so he wasn't broadside, but there he just went broadside. Sample now on a reload yet again.
With how much hit points are sitting there with those mouses in the E100, technically Sample could run out of ammo. Still not kill them all.
It really is a topic that at least us and Panda discusses whether you want. On this map, or city maps, we'd rather have the HP or the mobility to get to places you want to be. Whereas the HP, you can just soak up shots and trade, just like that E100 just did, absorbing it and then returning it for 750.
I really, truly think Shoddy Snipes needs to get up. It should be over here with iSample. Instead of out there dancing around, they don't need him to spot out there.
And then the northern guy in his E4 is not being able to be as effective. I would have figured he would have been up here, possibly more by where iSample is to.
Yeah, I think that
definitely big shots in.
If I was in VGA situation, I would have all the autoloaders go around just to where iSample is, because those mouses are now pushing onto their bat, and both of those mouses are able to be clipped out, but their 50B, the E4, and the bat are not being utilized at all.
Yeah, this is the thing here is how to utilize your tanks in the proper scenarios. And now what happened here is now all the pressure had to land on the IS-7s to do the dirty work, to do everything. J-Dog finally going down there. Super Waffles finally getting in the fight here with this 50B. I would be pushing in. I mean, honestly, once they get their reload, get Landrew out of there. There you go.
Northern guy not making the correct play. He went for the full health E100 over the one-shot mouse.
Yeah, needed to get that. The mouse is a very capable tank. We've seen a lot of people, Beowulf, taking down Super Waffles. Interesting. Vinny has that pike nose up in the air. He has to be real careful. Shoddy Snipes finally joining in with Sample, but here we go.
Ninth Ninth Beowulf.
If Sample can kill
know,
the mouse
he's-
in the E100, it is looking.
he's
If he can do it,
2/3
VGA
health.
has a good chance at winning this. That trying to pin the front of a mouse is not going to happen though.
Oh,
Very odd
Northern
choice by
guy-
iSample, as they're both reloading, to still fire at the front when you could have just YOLO'd them and killed them both.
I didn't realize, but Northern guy actually has been putting out shot after shot. He's been keeping that gun singing. He's at 4,200 right now.
Even
It's
though,
just-
like, sure, he's doing the damage, but his hit points are not being utilized, whereas up front,
No,
he
no.
may have been able to keep his teammates alive longer just by taking the shot and keeping
I
their
mean,
gun
he
in the
could have
game.
he could have been up on top of this Beowulf's E100 rider sitting in the back, rather than taking, like, yeah, what you're saying is he could have, rather than hitting, you know, a bunch of different tanks, he could have killed one or two tanks already with the 42.
Beowulf just kind of stuck in a corner there now. Sample trying to put stuff in. Vinny does the wise thing here. Utilize. Oh no! Don't be putting the butt to the E100. You're asking for an ammo rack. Oh,
Uh-oh.
that was a HE round into Vinny.
That was.
I think he had it loaded for the bad shot.
I think Vinny
Uh,
just fired a HE.
iSample needs to make those shots count.
Alrighty. It might, even though it might say a draw, VGA does pull out the victory for that one. Great job there, guys. Just a little bit of work, teamwork. Just work on it just a little bit. So we're gonna go.
Placement of tanks on that map.
Yeah, just some little stuff. I mean, nothing major. Just need to work on it. So let's go down to the damage here over on the SKB side. So glad these guys are coming back out. J-Dog did get put out very, very early, only 826. Landrew coming in with the 1245. Snafu and his E100 did throw out 3,500 damage. Great job. Big Kev and Killjoy, both in the Mouses, did manage to throw out one 2,400 and one will give them 2,300. And then Holo and the E5, just not much out of there. But then Beowulf and his E100, 2 kills with 1845. Now for VGA over here, Super Waffles in a 50B, only pulling out 1,200. LM and his IS7, 437. A little too much pressure on him. And Dampest Duck, having been shot from cross shots from both sides. So Damaged Duck coming out with a grand. Vinny Buddy Bean coming out with the 1519, but he did manage to bounce 2650. And then the two big guys here, Northern guy with 5100 and iSample putting in the work for his team. He couldn't have had very many rounds left. 26 shots fired, 26 threat, but only 12 pins. So, but he did manage to come out with the 44-16 with 2 kills. Switching sides?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
iSample definitely got the damage out. He had a great position when those mouses were coming in, but late game it seemed like he sort of panicked and just started firing at the front. Nonetheless, good game to him. 4,400 in the bet is not easy in competitive play.
That, and he only had 6 rounds left.
I've never seen a tank run out of ammo in a competitive match. That would be a first if he did.
So this time around, if you guys, their decks, if you want to go down the VGA, and I'll have Omega go down the SKB side.
Okay.
I do want to welcome everybody here at the 9 p.m. Eastern time. This is Wednesday Night Fights on a Tuesday with Meltdown rescheduled on a Tuesday. So I want to say thank you to all these teams that were able to reschedule their time and be able to come out on the show. You guys are amazing. Never do this, guys, without you guys. So, yet again, thank you. And then, of course, big shout out here, Murphy Mahler, joining us on the chat, with guest commentary. Super excited to have him in here. Thank you, sir, for coming.
Well, for VGA over here, we have an E4 pair of bat chats, triplet IS7s, and a 113.
And then SKB is running 4 IS7s, an E5, an E100, and a Chieftain. So they greatly changed up their lineup.
Super
Let's see
aggressive.
how much more aggressive they'll be.
Yet again, I want to say thank you for everybody tuning in. Guess what? It's that time. We're going to give away code. So, hashtag WNF. Hashtag WNF will get you hooked up with a code. Alrighty. Here we go.
Looking like SKB going down to the south side of the map this time.
Murphy, sneaky little devil. What are you doing? Trying to get a heads up.
It'll be interesting to see how SKB plays this, now knowing that VGA is on the cap side of the map with the bat hitting the cap, along with the 113 getting spotted.
Sorry, there had a camera malfunction. Interesting watching the bat chat with this pair of IS-7s of 113 rolling with him. Let's see what happens out of there. Now this is an interesting setup by SKB. With this type of rollout, they'll be able to get into position to shoot on the people on the base as they think.
I've never seen this strat work the SKB's doing, but they're allowing VGA to set up an ambush. So we'll see how
That's why I like having an eyes on every game I have, because SKB really is blind. Anything that VGA does is their own move to get spotted.
Yeah, Duck is
As they
sitting
don't know
out
where
there.
the IS-7, the bat, or the E4 is that's still in the field.
Yeah, Duck is posted up on the corner. He's going to be able to spot him out. You got this group of tanks that have this overmatch on this IS-7. That's surprising.
Yeah, now the
VGA isn't-
SKB knows they have the overmatch on Duck. They need to be able to take it right away, especially with J-Dog being now a one-shot. They need to take advantage of that. They need to take advantage and switch VGA's focus to keep him alive.
Sample on a reload. Super Wapple's coming in, connecting a good shot there. Unfortunately, with that type of side scrape, he is lined up with his fuel tank. So he has to be real careful. Good shot in by LM. Smart move. Here we go.
Not sure.
Talking about it. Here comes the push on a dampened
This is
stock.
exactly what I wanted to see SKB do, is flank around on VGA. And now VGA is caught out as their I-7 E4, and on the other side trying to
Yeah.
flank.
That's what I was wondering. I'm not sure why they rotate back. They had high ground to fire down into these guys from the cap rather than going around.
This
but-
effectively just flipped the map. Now SKB has the field, as VGA now has controlled the town.
Now just the focus fire is what will be key on this.
Now, Beowulf
Oh,
needs
that's-
to slow his roll here because the Chieftain, yet again, as we talked about in the beginning, it is not a brawler. Leading the fight, let that E100 and the IS-7 get out there. He's essentially...
I agree with House here. It would be nice for them to actually organize the E100 to go first and keep the Chieftains back. Therefore, their more viable tank, the Chieftain, would be still alive with its extremely high DPM.
That's an underutilized but a basic comp team rule is the sharing of damage and putting one, letting one tank with the hit points lead. And that definitely is what determines high silver gold team to the other teams. So.
That's what I can't stress it enough. As I had mentioned earlier, like keeping the guns in the game. Granted, they got away with it because it was only 2 tanks firing at them there, but look at that Chieftain's health. That's RNG keeping him alive. One low roll is all.
Yeah, no,
keeping him alive.
Yeah, you were very correct. I mean, coming out in that type of scenario, if you're going to lead out and you couldn't get the E100 up in there, you have those IS-7s with a little bit higher hit pool and the armor that can be a little trolly sometimes. So if someone's doing an RBRT, you get that bounce out of it. But now here, VGA is going to be putting all their hopes and dreams into Super Waffles, LM, and also into iSample.
The advantage that VGA has right now is that SKB just started just full on pushing. They didn't organize up and stack up and push as a group. They almost were going
There they
individually
go.
at these 2 IS-7s. So
Andrew getting tracked. Get back up. Nice by Sample taking out that Chieftain.
focus fire. They're
If Sample can
they're
get that
switching to the focus fire.
Holo the out, no, not
Oh.
gonna happen.
Oh,
That could have just changed that fight.
Yeah, if he would have taken out the IS-7.
They still have a chance if they can kill H2O.
Yeah, I don't know why they're
Going
not
for
shooting
the
at
higher
him.
health.
yeah, they're going up to the higher health IS-7 that's in front of. So now Killjoy's just got to ride the wave here. And
And here comes the E100.
They're leaving that 4th gun in the fight with Halo. Oh no, he's dead. Sorry.
there it is.
Well played.
SKB taking this round. So we're back and forth.
I'm liking this. Gonna be a brawl. I think we're gonna go to possible. I'm gonna call this. We're gonna end up going to game 5. I think. So the next map is Mervanka, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Oh, Mervanka Blizzard. It's so nice. But we won't.
You so want to play with variants.
I do. Come on, Murphy. Get Panda up there and call people out on a weather variant. I want to see it.
All right, I need to go to
Maybe
the
I'll do
damage
it
here.
Wednesday against the Immortals just to make them angry.
Just to make him angry. All right, going down damage here with VGA coming out. Super Waffles is 113 did throw out 4588. Wow. And that's intense. Shoddy Snipe 400, Sample with the 1232, Northern Guy, Dampest Stuck in the 900s. Vinny Bada Bing 1683, and then LM and his IS-7 almost 2500. SKB did roll out here. Beowulf did come out with the 1263, J-Dog 430. Holo coming in with 2122. Big Kev and his IS-7 only 529, but here comes the difference. Killjoy coming in with a 2210, Landrew coming in with a 3901, and Snafu and his E100 throwing out 4645. So, good job to him. You want so typically, I mean, seeing people with huge damage like that is awesome to see, but then you're wondering, did everybody get their shots placed? So, but great job to these guys.
I do have to say, SKB, the Halo and Big Kev. Big Kev bounced 4,200 and or blocked, I mean, and Halo blocked 2,000, almost 3,000.
Wow, that's between those two, that's 3 IS-7s worth of damage blocked. All I'm asking for is Sandstorm on Steps, Blizzard on Mervanka, and Thunderstorm on Ghost Town.
I don't think you're gonna be seeing that.
Yeah,
though,
I
unfortunately.
don't either, buddy. I think you're gonna be waiting a long time. So really fast here, SKB rolling out pair 140s, pair IS-7s, E100, and a pair of Chieftains. Murphy, what's VGA brought to the table?
They're bringing a T124, Studious Long 103B, and duo of bats, and duo of chieftains, and an IS-7.
Alrighty, it's interesting to see what they're going to be doing with the Sturb 103B, but it's going to be pretty great. I hope. I've seen it played a few times. It's made a pretty good impact. I thought Panda ran it once. Was it Panda or was it DP?
We haven't ran it at all. I know Fame has ran it once. I've seen, I think VGA ran it once as well.
MB's ran it on Rock and put it on the hill. It's been effective.
Yeah,
up
I was up there and I have all the camo perks on it.
And then I've seen it used on Cliff as well. Those are the two maps it's viable, I think. On this one, it's too vulnerable. I've seen it used on this map twice, and it's done clearly, I hate to say, nothing. But I like to be proven wrong, like Hell says. I'm just stealing that quote from you, Hells.
No problem.
Kind of like how I like to steal the Hell's favorite quote. Welcome to the dark side. We have cookies.
Yep.
It just depends on what cookie. If you're talking Samoas, I'll go dark side every day of the week.
I'll make you whatever you want, sir.
Those evil Girl Scouts. It's the evil Girl Scouts. They suck you in.
VGA is giving SKB complete control of the forest.
Yes, they are.
It's definitely interesting here to see what they do with the E4 and the 103B. I mean, I understand keeping the 103B as far back as possible, use its siege mode in a proper scenario. And I do like seeing
We're going to have
and
some
shoddy
medium
stunts.
action.
Yes, we are. Burst versus sustained damage. Here we go.
I would like to see the Stridsvang coming over and helping out the bats with the 140s.
Yeah, that DPM on that.
Very nice stack on that hit.
That 140 is
Big
just
cabs going down.
focused. Nice focus fire.
The bats do not have the rounds to kill the last 140 though, unfortunately, I do not believe.
Sample is now on reload.
There was an
But they track.
there was an assisting shot coming from the distance.
Yeah, they tracked him. I guess if you don't have all the shots,
I would like to see the VGA's bats go full map rotation, flank SKB's heavies. No. That is now they have medium dominance. I'm not sure I'd want to put the Stridsvang in this map. I might put him, if I was putting him somewhere, maybe in the C3 hill. maybe with the E4.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like.
I would
having
use
you
it pretty
here.
much like a chieftain.
That's why I like having you here, Murphy. You got the insight and the spots I don't see or somebody else doesn't see. That's why I'm in here in the booth and you're on the field.
Interesting. VGA's bat chat's toying with fire, kind of taunting it out, but Northern guy definitely getting focused there.
I do not like that play at all. They are now stuck out and they're going to have to cross front of 2 chieftains. That's a big bleed coming right here if the chieftains land the shots.
Gotta take advantage of those houses.
And they
right
are
now.
getting away, it seems.
Someone did fire around. It just damaged the tracks of Sample. So luckily on Sample, it was only damaging. Unfortunately for SKB, it didn't fully track them.
I would have loved to see SKB bleeding out those bats a lot more, considering they had a solid 10 seconds to shoot them while they were crossing.
Sample still spotted up. Somebody has to be running some.
he's-
Has to be running some binos.
No, I don't think binos because nobody's staying still. These chieftains are rocking back and forth. So
Sample got lit. This is the bleed I
knock
wanted to
pick.
see is when they first came around. Now Sample's pinned there. Can't move.
And this is where you need to have the answer come from also the rest of your team. Your bat chats are putting in the work. But at this moment in time, like even their TDs, I mean, J-Dog is back there sniping it out, not spotted, so he's keeping sustained rounds going down the field. But
And as you can see, since those chieftains are completely focused on the bats, if they were to push up with their TDs and the heavies, keeping the struts long as sniper fire is fine, as they're doing right now. They had the chieftains distracted, and the 140 is a one-shot. They can just push in on the I-7. It's low health Landrew, finish him off, and then 140 next, and the bats can come in as the chieftains turn around. Because the chieftains have their rear ends to all these heavies from VGA.
you are very correct on that
Uh,
one. J-Dog finally
Super
gets spotted
Waffle.
up back there.
yeah, Super
Another
Waffle
big hit into
only able
Akami.
to do one shot.
Southern guys getting a bit punished now, poking over the ridge in the E4 in the wrong spot. Sample getting very aggressive. I do not like that, considering that they can just pop over the ridge and the chieftain's great gun depression, finish him off, and still get away. Now on SKB, they have a potential 3-2 overmatch on their bats. They can swing the 140 over with the chieftains and take him out.
Anybody being getting singled out here. Hilder is going to take him down.
VGA's TDs are not in the fight like they need to be.
Super Waffle.
Their
out of
bats are
all the
just now
shots he's
coming in.
shot, Super Waffle has only landed 2 shots so far.
Both Landrew and J-Dog missing eye sample. Again, missing eye sample.
I mean, VGA has 3 tanks on 1 shots right now.
Yeah, both those bats came in, both got away. That's not helping SKB's case whatsoever, having both those bats still alive. He just now takes one of the bats out. Losing
There
the
you
140 finally.
Finally getting rid of the 140. Duck's gonna go. Duck's gonna go down here unless Sample's able to come in, drop the clip.
Would have liked to see
VGA
Asia
has
switch
this
his
one.
focus to eye sample right there, the more deadly.
There you
tank.
go. Alrighty.
And then that Stritzvon did some damage, but it was out of the fight until the last 2 minutes.
We'll do some damage here really fast on SKB side. Beowulf coming to 25-36. Killjoy 36-39. Snafu 28-71. J-Dog with the 2 kills 16-02. Big Kev just got taken out by those bat chats early. Landrew, really, he was up in the fight. I don't know how he ended up with throwing up donuts, and then Holo coming in there with a grand in his IS-7 over on the VGA side. Shoddy Snipes, his batch at 2 kills, 2,500. Benny Bada Bing with his Chieftain, pulling at 13. Wolfie at 1,100 in his Chieftain. Sample 2811. Super Waffles in that 103B with 2 kills, 1985. Northern Guy did yet again throw out some amazing damage. 2 kills, 4702, and then Dampus Duck with 1304. That was going back and forth, guys. SKB just couldn't pick up on some of the mistakes that VGA was throwing out, and so let's see what happens now that we switch sides.
Yeah, I still don't see that Stritzwan 103B being as viable. I think they would have been more effective. I know it did do 1,900 damage, but again, it didn't do it till the last 2 minutes of the game. I think if they would have had another bat chat out there, it would have been more effective.
I definitely agree with that. If they could have kept the Stritzvong in the game, it probably would have been a different outcome, but I definitely would have seen a bat chat.
I was following that Stritzwan around the whole time. There just aren't the angles because it's so low, and especially when you're going against tanks that are hull down. I think Dexter will attest to this. Is unfortunately those APCRs of the Stritzwan will bounce at long range. It seems like they have major drop.
Yeah.
Dex, I think one game fired almost 30 rounds and was only able to hit like almost
25.
all of them, but couldn't pin everything you hit. It was just crazy.
I was literally shooting the side of E5s. And I missed 4 shots. A couple of them were trying to shoot long distance through the train tracks, but and hitting thick armor, but otherwise I was bouncing off the sides of E5s.
While you're here, Dex, Mr. Happy Gilmore, do you want to go ahead and roll down the SKB side?
I guess. On SKB here, we have a pair of 140s, a bat chat, pair of IS-7s, and a pair of chieftains.
VGA rolling out with the E4 again. Trio of bat chats. They must have heard you guys. IS-7 and a pair of chieftains.
Launching in 30 seconds. Let's see if SKB can pull this one out and take it to game 5.
Looks like Beaver put together a hell of a compilation video for everybody who took part in Team Hells versus Team Beaver. We'll
That
be out
was
live
so much
here
fun.
short. Oh,
That
he
was
did
so much
release
fun to
it.
watch.
So there it is. And yet again, if you're watching this and you want to get back in, start getting into the comp community here on World of Tanks console. Multiple places to go, and then also for the Discords, you have there's so many of the Discords that you could join. If you want to join the Wednesday Night Fights, we do have the link to all of these Discords. So come on in, we'll get you tagged up, and then also while you're at the Wednesday Night Fight Discord, you can go over to Comp 101, where Steel Titan and a lot of great people have put together a great program for newcomers and also old-timers of the game to get brushed up on their skills, or for you guys to learn how to do Comp 101. All right, guys, here we go.
Yeah. All the mentors in Comp 101 are always willing to help anyone that wants to come out. I'm one of them. I can answer your questions anytime, along with any of the other great mentors. You got Steel Titan, a lot of gold teams coming out to help all the others.
Yeah, and speaking of mentor, here after this match, BK is going to be coming out where Bacon, he is the mentor for BK. You'll see him in action with his team here just shortly after these matches have went down. So stick around, stay tuned.
I do like what SKB is doing. They take aggressive into the field. They've now won the force. Now they have most of the map under their control.
Three-quarters of the map is now controlled by SKB. Big Kev did get spotted up here. Waiting for J-Dog. Let's see if he gets spot. Yep, there he goes.
Shoddy does not get spotted as he's firing his gun.
Far enough back. Using Sample as a spotter. And Shoddy staying far enough back. It looks like this is a bait play coming out of VGA to bait everybody in. But everything's going to come to an end here. Is Sample now getting spotted up. Interesting, using 3 bat chats as the bait.
What I would like to see SKB do, as they've now gotten the info of most of all of VGA's tanks, is to put their mediums back and go down the 4 line and put pressure on the other side of the hill, cornering VGA where they can't move. They're now doing this, but they're going straight through the middle of the field, which is now going to bleed them out instead of going around. They have the map control, but they're not using it.
Kind of get underneath the gun depression of the bat chaps.
VGA's bat chat's on the move. Here we go. We're going to have a fight.
Now this is the time where SKB should move in their heavy tanks as the bats are out of the game.
Yes.
Oh, no fire extinguisher on Big Kev.
Super Waffles being focused out, making it 2-on-2. Landry's now on reload.
Shoddy snipes the
Bro.
first clip.
Dog has the advantage on this. Since he has
Dog is
sustained
not
fire.
focus firing. He's just firing everything he has. Missed.
He's missing. Can't be missing. They're playing
SKB did not take advantage of their heavy tanks. They have a 4-3 overmatch and they never took it now. They're just now taking it, but now the bats are both halfway reloaded.
Hopefully Jay gets some good bounces here. Ooh, Sample getting ammo racked. Shoddy snipes taking forever to get loaded. J-Dog might be able to get this
If
last
J-Dog
round out.
gets Sample out, it could definitely change the game.
There it is.
Very
Dog
nice.
is. There you go. Shoddy finally getting into the game.
SKB needs to very quickly end the VGA heavies before the bat can come in and help out. They can get Viddy Bada Bing out before that bat comes. It'd be in good shape. Shoddy Snipe going in on the Chieftain's a very good move to take out the DPM of SKB.
I don't know what Beowulf is doing here. He should have been going all in.
Shoddy going to take down SKB's Chieftain. Now on another reload. 3-3. Let's
Beowulf
see
being a little
SKB
too
try to finish
passive.
Shoddy before he gets away. Nope, he's getting away.
Beowulf needs to be aggressive.
Beowulf needs to get the pressure on Wolfie.
Yeah, he needs to get.
He needs to pick a target and go to it.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment
Good
in
shot
time,
on Shoddy.
you have to be
Beowulf
utilizing.
needs to take out Duck. Yeah.
SKB a little late on that push, but still made the time to be able to get it.
I think the
VGA's
key is
bat's
here
taking
is
too long.
it would have been much quicker if Beowulf would have not been as passive. I think it just would have been more decisive. Well played, regardless.
It is hard to run that Chieftain though, because as I said, it has no armor. You're not sure if you want to push, because as soon as they start focusing, you're just going to get ripped apart.
Alrighty, going down damage here really fast over on the VGA side. Shoddy Snipes 3 kills, 2,400. Super Waffles only come on with the 745. He got pretty focused out pretty fast. Sample coming in with a kill, 3K. Vinny Bada Bing coming in with a 1617. Wolf coming in with 3263. Great job. Northern guy in a Z4, you cannot have that. Throwing up some donuts for him, that's a first. And then Duck coming in with a 1539. Over on the SKB side, Landrew coming out with the 1500. Snapu 2K J-Dog coming out with the 2183. Big Kev got singled out by the Bat Chats. He went out 302. Beowulf with his Chieftain, 3 kills, 3769. Holo, 1500. And then Killjoy coming in with the 2903 with 2 kills. Great job. We're going to Ghost Town. Wonder if we're going to see 2 Type 5 heavies and the rest 57 heavies. Highly doubt it. But if you want to go check out how that looks, go check it out over on Wednesday Night Fights YouTube or on Plan Wars YouTube. And while you're there, give Plan Wars YouTube a subscribe so they're almost to their goal of getting their own custom URL.
Oh, looks like SKB is going heavy armor. There we got two Mosses out and 2 IS7s. On Type 5s. But, you know, how many people truly actually have Type 5s out there?
Very correct.
Definitely not the tank you expect to be played on Ghost Town.
Yeah, Murphy, you ever get a chance, go check that out. Faust. Hell of a setup. Ifer and IX could not figure out how to take it down. Do they focus on Type 5s, or then you had 5 Type 57 heavies?
57s.
And yeah, I mean, it was... Ifer and I did finally manage to take a round away from him, but it took a while for them to figure out how to do it.
Definitely is interesting with the Clan Wars rules. No limits on the vehicles, having 7. I personally would run 757s, maybe 2 IS7s to keep them off while reloading, but you cannot beat the DPM of the T57 heavies. You get 2, 3 of them on your rear side, you're going to die no matter what happens.
Well, same rules apply here on WNF. The only limit is TDs. You could run 757 heavies if you wanted to.
Maybe Panda will have to try some radical things sometime.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Be interesting seeing something like this, but talking to 57 heavies, VGA rocking it out with 3.
Yeah. VGA currently is having some comms issues. They're trying to sort it out.
So with VGA, you also notice that there's a little bit of different stuff going on. Yeah, Grumpy Bear just sent me the message, our party crashed. So just be one moment there on that side. But yeah, if teams want to select which type of format they want to run, if they want to run no limits, they're more than welcome to run the no limit rules. But yet again, when people got to understand, when you have the no limit ruling, that means unlimited amount of autoloaders, unlimited amount of the tanks. The only restrictions that we really ever put down, and this is just for the sake of argument, is the TDs. But there is a no limits 770 where if someone wants to roll out with 7 waffles, that is their choice. But I don't want to hear no arguments or anything started about teams agreeing to it and not liking the tanks that they face.
Exactly. I mean, that would be a mean setup if you had, say, 3 E3s, 3 E4s. Throw a Death Star in there just to make up. I mean, and just create one giant firing line. That would be kind of.
I'd like to see us have waffle Traegers. If someone was to pull out 7 waffles, pick 4 or 5 Death Stars and 2, 3 57 heavies. Death Stars put the damage in, 57's finishing off.
Oh yeah. Oh, you could just one-shot the face of. If the gun is working for you, depends on how RNG on a Death Star 183 wants to play with you.
You got that right. All right. So Murphy, you want to roll down the VGA guys, and I'll go down the SKB for the last match in this pairing.
VGA running 1 E4, 3 T57 heavies, 2 E100s, and an AMX 50B.
SKB rolling out trio IS7s, pair of mouses, And a pair of cheap 10.
Just double checking on the columns thing here. But yeah, I mean, I could only imagine seeing 7 waffles if they are allowed to that 1 minute to load. That would just be crazy to see that lineup of them just rolling around.
All right, we're
Is
going to
the
give
clip
away some
potential
more
of-
here. Give me just one
Okay.
second, Omega. Just give me 2 seconds here. Janini14, congratulations. You won the set of codes. This time around, hashtag Meltdown. Your chance to win, to get some codes.
Okay. They are ready. Tiebreaker, game 5. First one of the night.
And remember, the codes that we do hand out, you have to go and put them in right there at the Roller Tanks console website.
So with the Chinese tank TDs rolling out, are we almost up to date with every tank that the PC has, other than the new heavy line and new changes to the Russian line?
We're still missing a lot of the buffs, nerfs, etc. Since we still have
Yeah, I
Dash
understand.
of the Death Star, outrageous pen, the Waffentrager,
Yeah.
of course, but as of new tanks, I think we're just missing the Super Conqueror, the Badger, and a few other tanks
Yeah.
I'm probably forgetting.
Oh, I appreciate that we're, console is not that far behind PC anymore. I mean, for a while we were, especially with the Chanks on the Swedish line coming out, felt like we're light years, but the new auto load system of the Italian tanks.
The Italian, that's pretty awesome. That's
Auto
gonna be,
reload.
yeah,
Yeah,
acting
the auto
like a
reload.
revolver.
I want that. Yeah, it's basically, rather than a clip, it's a revolver. Yeah, I mean, technically you could have one AP round, one APCR round, and one HE round loaded all at once. Can you imagine that little setup there?
It will be interesting to see how they play out and if anyone decides to use those in competitive play.
Yeah. I like how wargaming is going down and changing something up new. Siege mode's novel, but this whole auto reload system, I think, will make it
Wolfie
even more
going out
fun.
sideways, that is going to hurt VGA.
Oh. Yeah, that E100.
I don't think
half health
VGA
already.
realizes, but there are 4 autoloaders, I think. Yeah, 4 autoloaders. They can easily just go around, flank, take out the mouse, and potentially even get some roofers from the Chieftains. VGA now knowing that they have the IS-7s and the mouse spotted. Chieftains might be... Yup, here comes VGA's autoloader. Push on the mouse. Bouncing a lot
Now
of
they
shots.
just gotta.
Super Waffles is going straight in there, committing. Now all of them on reloads. Super Waffles pushing out that far is not going to be helping.
Oh, he got lucky.
The
that
eye
we-
sample trying to get trying to take the shot for Super Waffles, but just being able to thread the needle. Would have been nice to see the other VGA tanks push at the same time as they were all distracted.
Oh yeah, at least let that TD in there to take a shot, put a shot into somebody. Samples.
Now SKB's Chieftains now flanking the VGA E100 and E4.
All the 57s are 2 of the 3.
VGA now
The
having an
57s
overmatch
are
with the
loaded.
Chieftains they could take.
Northern guy is.
Northern guy with
is
the
he,
flank.
Is he gonna look? Is he gonna? No, he's going after the bottom guys. Oh, and he
just got
misses.
Northern
Right.
guy missing.
And misses.
Why would you?
Now caught out in the
Oh,
open.
He's gonna get
no.
punished.
Just that he's ripped up. even Hunters do get the rear shots on the chieftains, but a bounce.
Like Bugs Bunny said, should have taken that left to Albuquerque.
J-Dog now punishing the Super Waffles now that he's on a reload.
57 heavies now going down because there goes 50B. The E100s never got to be utilized correctly. Utilized, sorry.
Big hit.
Wolfie at least
Both
got a
57s
shot
on
in
reload,
that.
they're both going to die.
Nice focus there.
Snafu should be going down in this barrage of E100 right here.
No, unfortunately, oh, I thought Wolfie was blocking the shot. These IS-7s, if they get in there and just face hug and let
Both
the rest of the team get
E100s
around one of
switching
them.
targets, that's not a good thing. But see, Damp is stuck now, push on Landrew.
3 tank swarm on Wolfie.
He needs to get up there and push that IS-7 out of the way.
And at this game.
SKB finding their footing in the last game of the game.
Alrighty.
Great focus fire done.
The damage spread a little bit more even on both teams this time. Not too bad. Northern guy ended up throwing up the donuts this time round. Yikes. 2 games in a row for that gentleman. VGA rolling out here. Waffles, 3K. Dampus, 2K. Wolfie, 2100. iSample coming in with 2279. Vinny, 2K. The Shoddy Sniper only rolling out with 1100. Over on the SKB side, Snafu with 2400. J-Dog, 2 kills, 900. Beowulf, 486. Big Cap coming out with 2 kills, 2497. Solo coming out with 1 kill, 3287. Landrew coming in with 1 kill with, that's just a whole, 2797. And then Killjoy breaks the trend coming in with the IS-7 with 1 kill, 3K, 3,876 damage. Great job there to both teams. Thank you for coming out. SKB making the best and getting the win out of this game. Best out of 5. Up next. Then, yep. So up after this one here. BK versus Rated R. It'll be a good time seeing Rated R come back out. I know they were having a lot of fun in the ladder tournament, and gonna be glad seeing them come out on
Unfortunately, now I'm gonna have to go. But thanks for having me out.
Oh, thank you
Oh,
for
thank
coming
you
out,
for
sir.
coming.
I'm so glad to have you out this evening. Thank you
And I'll
so
see you
much.
guys on Wednesday when
Yes, sir.
Panda plays Immortals.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Oh, looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to this last matchup here. BK showed a lot of improvement again through the mentor of Bacon. Last time they came out, I'm really excited to see how much further they are progressing.
All right. So we got a big winner here. Congratulations going out to Matt. Throw me a whisper, sir, because for some reason my whispering system has not worked. So throw me that whisper, and we'll get you your code sent out to you guys.
What are you guys' thoughts on the matches so far tonight?
Been back and forth. Really enjoying them.
I do like the to have the teams come in with time permitting, giving a little insight of what their thought process was.
Yeah, speaking of which, we can get a couple quick questions in here, huh? Well, it did run